Thank you. You may be seated. The court is convened today in special session to conduct naturalization proceedings for those persons who desire to become and have shown themselves to be qualified to become new citizens of the United States. My name is John Lungstrom, and I would like to welcome all of you, the prospective new citizens, families, friends, and others who are here to participate in this absolutely wonderful occasion. I'm a United States District Judge for the District of Kansas. I live here in Lawrence, so I'm particularly pleased to be able to be participating in this ceremony today. And I will say this is always one of my favorite things to do because it is just such a joyous and wonderful occasion. Those of you who are about to become new citizens may be interested to know that new citizens today follow very much the same road to citizenship which is taken by those who have come before them for more than 2 centuries. Since 1790, when the first naturalization law was passed by Congress, there's always been some sort of judicial proceeding, maybe not as elaborate as this one, but a judicial proceeding of some kind as part of the naturalization process. The court is delighted to take part and help make this a very special event in your lives. Since 2003, the court has been pleased to hold a naturalization ceremony here on the campus of the University of Kansas at the Dole Institute of Politics. And we'd like to thank Bill Lacey, who's the director, and Barbara Ballard, who's here today, for their cooperation and invitation to make this such a hospitable occasion for all of us. Traditionally, the Chancellor of the University of Kansas has participated, and today it is my pleasure to introduce Chancellor Dr. Bernadette Gray Little, the 17th Chancellor of the University of Kansas, to welcome all of you on behalf of the university. Chancellor.
Thank you. Good morning. It is my great privilege to welcome you to the University of Kansas and to congratulate you on becoming citizens. The University of Kansas is an international research university dedicated to educating leaders from more than 100 nations, building healthy communities here and around the globe, and making discoveries that change our world for the better. Our students and scholars' experiences and backgrounds help to enrich our community, and they lead to new discoveries and new ideas. Many of our international students return to their home countries when their studies are over, though we hope they consider Lawrence a second home, even if they do return. But many also choose to make the commitment that you have made to becoming citizens. The rights of citizenship are many, and the process you've gone through to earn citizenship is difficult. But it is difficult for a reason. The rights you gain as citizens have been hard-won and must continue to be protected. Yet sadly, they're often taken for granted by those who were born with those rights. In addition to rights, citizens also have responsibilities to uphold, responsibilities such as voting and serving on a jury. These responsibilities are part of being an active and informed member of our community. KU is dedicated to helping all citizens to be engaged citizens, and the Dole Institute of Politics is an excellent example of how to strive for that mission. I encourage you to take advantage of the many programs offered here and across the university as you enjoy the rights and uphold the responsibilities of citizenship. Today, you remind us what a precious gift citizenship is, and you honor us with your commitment to become American citizens. Again, it is my privilege to be here with you as you take the oath, and I know that I speak for everyone here when I say that we are honored to have you as fellow citizens. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. Your participation in this event really helps make it very special for all concerned. And we know you have an extremely busy schedule, and we appreciate your time and attention to this occasion. Thank you so much. Today, as many of you may know, marks the 226th anniversary of the United States Constitution. You might say it's our country's birthday. And in 2004, President George W. Bush and the Congress of the United States designated every September 17th as Constitution Day as a way to mark that occasion. As Americans, we are rightfully proud of our Constitution. And there are many reasons why it is very appropriate that we honor it and that a particular day has been set aside for that purpose. I would like to mention one aspect of that today, which sometimes does not receive very much public attention. The United States is one of the few countries in the world that has a judicial branch that is independent of the rest of the government. Our judges are bound to follow the law and their own consciences, but are not controlled by a king, a president, or a parliament. Once a federal judge is appointed and confirmed, he or she is part of a separate branch of government established by Article 3 of the Constitution. This does not mean that judges should be arrogant or set themselves up as petty tyrants. The checks and balances of our constitutional system guard against that. Judges are accountable, but they do not and should not decide cases for personal gain or to win favor or to follow the orders of the party or person who appointed them. In this respect, our judicial system is the envy of the world. I am proud and humbled to be a part of that system and to honor today the Constitution which created it. I hope that you will reflect on the importance of an independent judiciary yourselves and decide that it is a source of pride for you too. With that, I would now like to introduce to you a graduate of the University of Kansas School of Law, Brian Dirksen, who also happens to be, and perhaps even more importantly, happens to be a very talented vocalist. Brian?
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. O beautiful for pilgrim feet, whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. O beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. O beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Brian, thank you very much. That particular song is such an appropriate thing to include in a proceeding like this as we think about what it means to be Americans and how lucky we are to be Americans and about to be Americans in this entire process. Thank you. I wish we had the sunny day that we usually have this time of year when we have this ceremony, where we have a nice reception outside and so forth. But this is Kansas, and so I guess whatever weather we get, we should expect. And we'll make it a nice proceeding in any event, with things taking place inside rather than out. With that, I'd like to introduce the naturalization examiner, Kathleen Schley, for the purpose of introducing our new citizens. You may proceed.
This morning, I would like to introduce 99 applicants for United States citizenship. These applicants come from 43 different countries. They have met the formal requirements imposed by law for United States citizenship. Upon taking the oath of allegiance, each will have the rights, the privileges, and the responsibilities of United States citizenship. As I call your names, please stand and say the country from which you come. Hector Ernesto Magana Ortiz, El Salvador. Ramaorthy Raghava Layam Parasupilal, India. Girija Narayanan, India. Joel Camilo, Dominican Republic. No Reen, Burma. Safa Abdul Fattah al-Janabi, Iraq. Fatima Abdul Sami al-Janabi, Iraq. Angela Meza, Mexico. Sizhi Jin, China. Madhukar Reddy Garlapati, India. Shravani Bhume Reddy, India. Letitia Zamora Ibarra, Mexico. Chona Bulan Perry, Philippines. Ayak Akwe Mawin, South Sudan. Christina Kailani Nangpa, Thailand. Omir Wahid, Pakistan. Rashin Alapur Morafan, Iran. Masood Alapur Morafan, Iran. Tahiri Oji, Iran. Giovanna Griselda Weller, Peru. Eva Luz Lopez Iskandrani, Panama. Judith Magdalena Reyes, Mexico. Leonardo Polo, Colombia. Atillo Jose Moran Leal, Venezuela. Anbreen Yukani, Pakistan. Sucha Singh, India. Hodan Billy Noor, Somalia. Mohammad Shohab Beg, Pakistan. Tahira Shohab Beg, Pakistan. Guadalupe de Blanc, Mexico. Mabani Mayar Sir Deng, South Sudan. Delia Esperanza Guzman Guzman, El Salvador. Bernardo Torres Garcia, Mexico. Lasana Trejori, Senegal. Leslie Jacqueline Hernandez, Mexico. Waldemar Guidel, Guatemala. Vicente Antonio Soria Elias, Mexico. Sanjin Hadzibegovic, Bosnia. Thang Sian Jin, Burma. Evelyn Wanjiru Gashi, Kenya. Elena Antolonevna Dresyanikov, Uzbekistan. Sabina Awan, Pakistan. Mabu Alam, Bangladesh. Irene Hermoso Goins, Philippines. Altaf Udin, Bangladesh. Sandrine Anne Salas, France. Jasbir Kaur, India. Shri Kumar Palasari Nair, India. Ivy Michelle Wangui Gicho, Kenya. On Ki Chong, Macau. Ken Hong Kwok, Macau. Maria Francia Atenza Gillespie, Philippines. Irene Weramu Mawithka, Kenya. Ari Younggrim Lee, Republic of Korea. Özlem Olsarak, Turkey. Baja Marufi, Morocco. Desislavla Pamlinova Angelova, Bulgaria. Steven Gakic, Serbia. Zinash Mekonnen Demis, Ethiopia. Samir Akbar Khan, Pakistan. Maria Elena Rodriguez, Mexico. Khan Wang, Burma. Imad Bajat Al-Halbuni, Jordan. Sumin Schmeltz, South Korea. Lizeth Gabriela Reyes Zamudio, Mexico. Miguel Angel Castrorina Santos, Mexico. Miriama Camara, Guinea. Edwin Alexander Martinez, El Salvador. Elsa Yolanda Martinez, El Salvador. Adriana Carolina Martinez, El Salvador. Maria Jose Najarro Calderon, El Salvador. Luis Octavio Perez, Mexico. August Paul Gaw, Burma. Veronica Nadeja Donegan, Honduras. Beatrice Njoki Naganga, Kenya. Mulata Work Kostir Kidanwold, Ethiopia. Diego David Campoverde Arevalo, Ecuador. Esmeralda Hernandez Gaitan, Mexico. Raul Renteria, Mexico. Jam Crimani Roberts, Thailand. Evans Mangari Omwega, Kenya. Geyser Yanina Lopez, Guatemala. George Atwari Mekori, Kenya. Yuchan Lin, China. Tony Malik, Bosnia. Jerry Lowe, Laos. Paul Kibiwat Bewu, Kenya. Juslina Nineth Catalan, Guatemala. Hasaba Abdi, Algeria. Carlos Sandoval Saucedo, Mexico. P. Chun Yoko Beard, Taiwan. Alvaro Esteban Chavez Castillo, Costa Rica. J. Hao Chi Ting, Taiwan. Tara Gimire, Bhutan. Anna Yurayevna Otto, Ukraine. Liliana Voits, Mexico. Roxana Mary Lou Vasquez, El Salvador. Andrew Ndungu Kamande, Kenya. Tetiana Vladimirovna Kolosho, Ukraine. And this, Your Honor, is our class of applicants for this morning. At this time, the government moves that the oath of allegiance be administered to the prospective citizens of the United States and that all petitions for change of name be granted.
Thank you, Ms. Schley. Those motions should be and hereby are granted. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to take the oath of allegiance to the United States. This oath has two parts. In the first part, you will renounce your allegiance and fidelity to any foreign country, state, or sovereignty. After the oath, you will then owe all of your allegiance to the United States. In the second part of the oath, you will swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. In taking this oath, you should be aware of the many freedoms and rights those who first established this country, as well as those who have come after them, wanted so desperately when they came to America. In fact, these were summed up in the Declaration of Independence and became the framework of the Constitution and its first 10 amendments, our Bill of Rights. Because we are persuaded that you agree with the principles expressed in the Constitution, and that you will keep your oath to support and defend that great instrument, we are about to bestow on you the same privileges as native-born Americans. With these thoughts in mind, you will now take the oath of a new citizen, which will be administered by Deputy Clerk of the Court, Sharon Shire.
Will you all please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, and then state your name, hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, and that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely and without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God.
Thank you. You may be seated. And I would like to take this opportunity to be the first to congratulate you as new citizens of these United States. I am always awed by the many talents which you bring to this country, and I'm so pleased that you've chosen to share them with us and to become a part of us. I do know that you're aware also that your predecessors brought their talents and energy just as you have. Through dedication and adherence to the same obligations and responsibility expressed in the oath of allegiance you have taken, they molded this country into a land of freedom and liberty. You now join the citizens of this country, and through our combined efforts, I trust we might make it an even better place in which to live. We salute you, and we wish you well. Now, there's one change in the program here today. You might have seen that the next sort of order of business is the introduction of our guest speaker by the Honorable Carlos Murguia. Judge Murguia is one of my colleagues on the United States District Court for the District of Kansas, and judicial business has kept him from being with us here today. So the privilege and honor to introduce our guest speaker has fallen on me, and I'm delighted to do that. Our guest speaker is seated with me today at the table here, and she'll be going down to the lectern in just a moment. She is Janet Murguia. She is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the National Council of La Raza, which is the largest national Hispanic civil rights and advocacy organization in the United States. Janet is a national figure. But she grew up in Kansas City, Kansas, and she obtained 3 degrees from the University of Kansas, including a law degree. She spent many years working in Washington, D.C., both on Capitol Hill and in the White House, including as an assistant, or as a deputy assistant to President Bill Clinton. After that, she came back here to Lawrence and served as Executive Vice Chancellor of the University of Kansas for internal and external relations. She has received more awards, honors, and recognition than we have time for me to go through here today. But what's most important to me personally is that her brother is my colleague, and that she is my former neighbor and my friend. With that, Janet, we're pleased to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure, truly a privilege to be here with you all for such a wonderful event. I am very grateful to Judge Lundstrom for his gracious invitation to be here and to address you on this very special day. I'd just like to say that Judge Lundstrom is a well-respected and highly admired judge in our judicial system. He is a former chief judge for the Federal District Court here in Kansas, and he has established quite a distinguished record for his fairness. But he is probably most well known for the fact that he is the #1 KU Jayhawk basketball fan. And I think for me, after knowing Judge Lundstrom, if he had a chance to serve on the federal bench or on the bench of the KU Jayhawks, it would be a very tough choice. But you all are fortunate because today he is sitting here presiding over this wonderful event, and I want to offer my extreme thanks. And he is a former neighbor, and I lived in his neighborhood, and I see that his lovely wife, Linda, is here. And this is truly a family event because she has her mother here. And so we are celebrating this tremendous day for you all in this incredible milestone. But it is also a day that is special to you all and your families. I also want to thank Chancellor Gray Little and the Dole Institute for inviting me to be here for the 10th anniversary of their annual naturalization ceremony. It's a special honor for me, not only as a former Vice Chancellor of KU, but also as someone who is a great admirer of Senator Dole. In fact, I remember being here at the center when it was dedicated to Senator Dole with so many distinguished guests, former presidents and leaders of the Congress. And from his very humble beginnings, I know Senator Dole became a war hero during the Second World War, someone who hailed from Kansas. And he did so at great personal sacrifice. He not only ably represented our great state in the United States Senate for nearly 30 years, he rose to serve as both Senate Minority Leader and Senate Majority Leader. In that role, he was known for his statesmanship and his ability to work across the aisle to move our nation forward. I'm sure that someone as dedicated to the Constitution and to the promise of this country as Senator Dole is very proud of the work that the Dole Institute is doing today, and extremely proud that the fact that we are having this ceremony here today. Most of all, I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you, our country's newest citizens. You know, growing up in Kansas, I could never imagine that we would have the kind of diversity that you all embody. There are nearly 40 different nations represented here today, and I want to give special thanks to those of you who are serving or have served our country in the military. We thank you for your service and your sacrifice to protect our country from harm and preserve our freedoms. As someone whose organization, the National Council La Raza, and network work every day to help people with naturalization process, I know that it took a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication to get you here today. The time, the effort, and the financial sacrifices that you've had to make. All of you took the same oath today, but you have not traveled through the same path. But whatever path you took, you have traveled it with supreme determination and perseverance. We salute you for what it took to get you here, and all those, including your beautiful families, who helped you along the way. We may not know what the future holds for any of us, but I do know that today, and it is a beautiful day, regardless of what's happening outside, today is a beautiful day. And on this beautiful campus, today, your life has changed forever. It happened to me. 35 years ago this month, I started my journey as a KU freshman. KU was a whole other world compared to the neighborhood I grew up in the Mexican-American neighborhood I grew up in Kansas City, Kansas. I not only met people from all over Kansas here on this campus, but from across the country and indeed the world. I wasn't completely surrounded by strangers, though. My roommate was my twin sister, Mary. And when we were shown our dorm room by the resident assistant the day we walked in our freshman year, we were on cloud 9, knowing that we were going to have a room to ourselves for the first time with our own desk, our own closet, and our own beds. All the other girls were complaining because they were going to be crowded and they didn't have enough room for all their things. Mary and I had shared a room with all my brothers and sisters growing up, because growing up in a family of 9 in a little house in Kansas City, Kansas, we were a little crowded, but we had a lot of love and support. So coming to this campus for us and having our own opportunity to discover this world and to discover education was a beautiful experience. That's what educational institutions do. And today, here at the Dole Institute, you're just embarking on another incredible, wonderful experience. You see, the 7 of us kids, along with our parents, we did grow up in Kansas City, Kansas, and we didn't have a lot of money back then, but we didn't know any different. My parents, immigrants coming from Mexico, had a lot of struggle and personal sacrifice. The story of the Murguia family in Kansas began when my father came to the United States in the late 40s. He was born in Oklahoma, but returned as a young boy to Mexico, where his parents were from, a small rural community in Michoacan, Mexico, called Tangancicuaro. With very limited English, he came to report for military service towards the end of World War II. And like most immigrants, he was also looking for a better way of life.